One of the things that consumer protection does with the complaints is identify issues that need investigation. And we have talked in the past about storm chasers and those companies that maybe come out after a hailstorm and want to repair roofs. We had a company a number of years ago that actually did that, and they would work with the consumer and their insurance company to try and figure out what repairs would be covered and contract. And the company was American Dream Home Improvement. And they worked throughout the state of Wisconsin and represented to consumers that work would be warranted. And under the law, they're to provide lien waivers, and that wasn't done. And they communicated with insurance companies, and that's one of the things that's regulated, specifically how you can do those representations and how you can interact with the insurance company, that you can't really work on behalf of the consumer, but you can communicate the condition of the property to see if the insurance company will cover it for the consumer. And depending upon how all that transaction goes, a consumer can cancel the contract or follow through with the contract based on what will and won't be covered. So it's very complicated, and it gets into both the regular home improvement area and in relation to insurance companies and storm damage. Well, as a result of an investigation based on consumer complaints, we recently reached a settlement with American Dream Home Improvement for the actions that they took that were not compliant with the law. And that settlement involves more than $900,000 in civil forfeitures and restitutions and fees and costs. Of that $900,000, consumers who were part of that investigation and identified during the investigation will receive, in total, all the consumers, more than $500,000 in restitution. So because consumers filed the complaints, it starts with one consumer filing the complaint and then that second consumer, and we see this pattern of conduct. But this took years. I mean, this was a situation where we identified the issue, did the investigation, referred it to the Department of Justice. They acted as our attorney. There was a long period of negotiation and going back and forth with the companies. So yeah, the process, we've talked about it in the past, a complaint mediation can take weeks to a month, but an investigation can take months to years in that, depending upon the complexity and where the company sits on what has happened and how many players are involved in it. And this was a long period of time. Those complaints for that 45-day window could be January 1st of 2012 all the way to July 26th of 2018. So we're talking a period of more than 6 years where this had happened. So it does take a while to look at all that paperwork. I mean, in this case, this company was not your standard storm tracer transient. They do have out-of-state presence. They had an in-state presence as well. So they were someone you could follow through on, but you also want to check to see if there are consumer complaints involved and what those complaints are about. Just because you have a complaint doesn't necessarily mean it's a business you don't want to engage with, but that's for you as a consumer to decide where your tolerance level is. Sure. So if consumers are curious about this specific settlement because they think that they might fit the criteria, we have a press release on our website that they can access that has the information highlighted. And our website is DATCP.wi.gov. But if there are other consumers that are currently having issues with a home improvement contractor or are about to sign a contract and want to learn their rights before entering into that contract, we have brochures and complaint forms at that same website, datcp.wi.gov, or you can call 1-800-422-7128 to talk to someone or have information mailed to you.